Hi again then guys, and welcome to another specific rally car breakdown and review for Gran Turismo Sport, and this time we're featuring a car which I haven't owned for all that long. I actually won it a couple of days ago thanks to the daily giveaways, and that is the Hyundai Genesis Gr.B. It's one which I wanted for a while, but I didn't really want to fork out the 450 grand until I actually won it, because I'm stingy like that. Now, first of all, the engine size on this car is, as far as I'm aware, left a bit ambiguous. You could assume that it has a modified version of the 3.8 litre that's, of course, featured in the road car, which would be cool for a rally car to have that larger capacity, or it might be some kind of altered 2 litre version or 2.5 instead. Either way, it's certainly got more than enough bang for buck, because you're looking at just under 500 horsepower, 342 foot-pounds of torque, and in a car that weighs 1250 kilos, which for its size is actually very good, is promising, to say the least. Even the horsepower per tonne is decent enough at just under 400, a fraction under 400 in fact, which is, to put it into some perspective, a whole lot more than a Nissan GTR road car, which has 319, so this is way higher than that. But of course, road car, rally car, bit of a difference, still. As far as performance though, it could easily swing either way, and I have said this about some other cars before, but in the case of the Hyundai Genesis, it has a lot of things which don't really act that conducively toward being a rally car. For a start, it's a very tail-happy vehicle, but not in an all-wheel drive rally car kind of way, more like a rear-wheel drive Fairlady Z or Nissan Silvia kind of way. It's a very drift-ready, very capable drift car already, and then when you tune it, it basically accentuates that, especially when you give it more power. On Gran Turismo 6, the road version could be tuned to over 800 horses, and it's a very tail-happy car. Not that it's bad through corners, it's not actually, but it definitely likes to play, it likes to get its tail out, very reminiscent actually of the Mustang, which is now on Gran Turismo Sport, and that again isn't necessarily conducive to being a rally car, but for the Mustang, which we of course discussed relatively recently, that car turned out pretty well when it was converted to being a rally car with all-wheel drive, and although the weight on that one is much higher than this Genesis, it is still a capable rally car. Not among the very best, but certainly more than capable of winning races. Now this one is definitely capable, and the only downside, I would say, to this car is actually a similar one to both the Mustang and the GTR, and that is that it's just a larger vehicle. Against something like a Toyota 86 or a Ford Focus, this is a much naturally larger car to begin with, being a big sports coupe, and when you add a wider body kit to that, well, it just gets bigger, of course. Now, as far as the handling goes with that size, but also the reasonable weight to counteract that, I would say it's a pretty well set up car. You can handle it very easily, even without changing really any settings at all. Just turn off the traction control. Personally, I like a 30-70 torque split, but of course, that's down to you. And with those settings for me personally, I found it to be a very responsive car. It certainly likes to get its tail out still, even with all-wheel drive, which isn't a bad thing for a rally car. It's excellent for tighter corners and also for higher speed flowing ones as well. The lap times, as you can see, aren't quite as consistent as something like the Toyota 86 on this particular circuit, but it's not slow, that's for sure. It can break into the 122s, it could doubtless go even faster with a different driver, but it really does go to show that this car has plenty of potential. Now, as far as straight line performance and power and potentially top end speed, but not so much, it's got that pretty locked down, I would say. This is a powerful rally car. It doesn't have a huge amount of torque, but certainly enough to get the job done, and it will have no trouble keeping up with most, if not all, of the other main Group B cars, including the Peugeot RCZ, the Nissan GTR, the Mustang, a variety of others. So it's a highly capable car. It certainly looks the part. It's a cool car, cool concept to have a Genesis rally car, and it suits it well. The car responds very well to being all-wheel drive and also to being off-road in general, because if I remember correctly, I believe you can take the Genesis off-road on Gran Turismo 6, but it's not the best at it because A, it's got way too much power to put down in general, but also through a rear-wheel drive chassis, that really is not conducive to rallying, whereas now they've eliminated that issue by adding all-wheel drive, and it takes to it very well. So overall, it's a car which I wouldn't say will necessarily destroy everything else, but it is one of my preferred rally cars already, I can safely say that. It's a very enjoyable car to use, certainly a very capable car, you can tell that very quickly, and it doesn't take very long to get a handle on the car. It's similar to the Toyota 86 in that way, actually. You very quickly get a feel for what the car does and doesn't want to do, what it's capable of, and really how far you can push it without making a mistake or overcooking it. So, definitely a rally car that's worth checking out, and that's it overall for this particular pick. So I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.